We are live.
Hi, this is Miss J,
Hey, what up, y'all? It's real.
and
We here just bluntly speaking. Oh, we got some shit to talk about. Yo, clothing lines are blowing up these days. I mean, it's great. Everybody's independent, doing their damn thing. Shout out to my boy CL. CL, I wish you would have came out with this shit first. This truth shirt that me and Jay looking at right now. Shirt says, "I want the black woman that the white guy gets." I want the black woman that the white guy gets. How you feel about that shit right there?
okay, honestly, I do understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how I feel about it. I definitely feel like, okay, a lot of times when white men are dating black women, a lot of them do typically date, like, the educated black woman, the, more, I guess, natural hair or black woman.
They try to date up, maybe.
I don't want to say it like that. I really don't want to say it like that or whatever. But like, and I also think the reason why they typically get those type of women is because of probably proximity. You probably met this woman at your job. This woman probably lives in your neighborhood. Her social economic status is probably a little different than, you know, a lot of other black women, right? With that being said, right? Um, then he goes in and he was saying like, oh yeah, I don't want this rat ass bullshit anymore, and this ain't a fucking third or whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to date anybody that don't got their shit together.
Absolutely.
I think where the problem lies is that it's like, listen, um, the way it came off, it just kind of came off as it's like, yo, he was basically like, just basically dissing a lot of women. But my whole thing was just like, you are not the type of man that is going to attract the type of woman that you want.
Right.
When I read your post was grammatically incorrect. When you went on your YouTube page, you sounded very ignorant, and then on top of it, like, you looked disheveled and your teeth were atrocious.
Wow. Alright, I'm gonna look at it like this because not taking away from anything you said, your opinion is your opinion, but I don't think he's talking to a large group of women, but he's talking to a small group of women. Like when he said in his post, like the rats will respond when he put the hood in front of the rats. Because again, what happens is this: if you hold yourself a certain way, if you're a certain type of woman, you don't give a fuck what this nigga's saying because he's speaking in power to truth and truth to light or some shit. Like, yo, some women know what it is when you dating a white guy. It's not now. Let's just break that down because I've seen white guys with hood rats. I've seen white guys with chicks that are regular chicks. It really don't matter the race, but what he's trying to really say, or what I think he's trying to equate it to, is you want somebody that's gonna act respectable in public, know how to speak, know how to hold himself, know how to talk. Not saying that they're a dog on a leash and they're by command doing whatever the guy says. No. All he's saying is they have a certain amount of respect and they hold themselves to a higher caliber that they know how to carry themselves, that they demand respect where they walk, and it's not no bullshit. Now, for everybody else that goes around and they try to get at him and get at a person personally about it, whatever he look like is whatever he look like. The message, what he's saying, is the more potent thing about it. His message is, like, I want a person that's this way. Now, black women, don't come for me real quick, but y'all niggas know there's certain levels when it comes to black women. Some black women, we will never disrespect that queen like that. Some women, they get disrespected just because of the way they walk. Same way it goes vice versa, guys, girls, no matter the case. But since we're talking about black women in this situation, it's like, yo, you know who you are. If you a chick that's like, kind of like, I don't even want to stereotype you because then I'll be sounding wrong. But the stereotypical shit would be like, oh, still in the hood, mad kids, mad baby fathers, uneducated, trying to send your kid to homeschooling but never got out of school your damn self type shit. Like, then he might be talking to you because you that chick. The chick that's always cursing a nigga out that's drinking more than that nigga. He might be talking to you. He might be.
At the end of the day, I feel like you also have to attract what you want. I mean, no. I think I said that. I might have said that wrong.
Sound right.
You have to be what you want, because at the end of the goddamn day, you can't sit there and be complaining about black women being uneducated and this, that, and a fucking third, and you come off as uneducated your goddamn self, though.
That is true.
You understand? And then on top of that, it's just like, oh, you want this upper echelon type of woman, but you're not an upper echelon type of nigga. You all on some real shit. You look like you're a hood booger. I gotta keep it real. You look like a hood booger, nigga. I don't see any educated woman going for you. So like, it's not happening, nigga.
So maybe if he cleaned up and dressed up and made the same
video. It don't
video.
matter if you clean up and dress up. You look like a bum and you sound like a bum.
Nah. We'll bring up that point. So if he cleaned up and dressed it up, right, then he will look better. Let's say he cleaned it up and put a suit on it. Would that make everything look better? And if he presented the video, then would it make it put in a certain light?
I think no.
I'm just asking.
Listen. This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You always have a bunch of niggas complaining about how women act or whatever, right?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you act the same exact way. You're acting the same exact way. You're not fucking educated. You don't have a stable fucking job. You out here drinking and smoking every single fucking day. You on the block every single goddamn day. You over here probably in and out of jail or got a fucking record or whatever the fuck is going on. You probably got multiple kids. You probably got multiple baby mamas. Who the fuck are you to sit up there and criticize a whole group of women and you on the same shit?
And I think it goes both ways, but I think we're getting at the point of it's like a like-minded people or like-minded persons, they'll attract the same thing.
Exactly.
So if you're a hood booger, you're going to attract a hood booger. If you are of upper class or you have this more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little word like gumption to you. You hold more regards for yourself, then you're going to attract that. Like, but then again, sometimes you can hold yourself to a higher regard and attract the crazy. So it's
that's true.
It's one of them things,
yo. That is absolutely true.
But speaking about dressing things up, like I said, if this nigga would have dressed it up and put it in a different message, it's almost like what the NFL is doing is they dress up, they're changing clothes. Now, I am going to salute Jay-Z right now for getting this business from the NFL because we need to see things like this. We need to see more empowerment with our people. When these things happen, we don't need to sit up there and try to downplay it. We need to celebrate it. Too many times in history when a black person does something and that is in good regards, that's a great business move, it's like followed by the other side headlines of shitting on them. Like for every one thing a good person does, there's 10 things to shit on them and follow right behind it. And even with this, the minute this happened, and then he's going to buy an NFL team, and what about the Patrick? And let's just talk about the deal. Let's focus on that.
Okay, so, all right, just let me get this out real quick.
Okay.
I also am in support of Jay-Z, but I'm a little bit conflicted about the situation, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so on the one hand, I'm in support of Jay-Z because I really do think that he is doing this from a positive place. Right. I really do believe that.
Right.
Number two, we need to be in these type of positions of power. We need to be in these conversations. We need to be in these rooms. It is very important.
Definitely.
You don't think that it is a problem that the majority of the NFL, the majority of the players are predominantly black, but all of the owners are white, except for the exception of one? You don't think that's probably an issue? That is the reason why they ended up doing what they did to Colin Kaepernick in the first fucking place. Because there was nobody that was of our skin complexion to let them know what the hell was necessarily really going on. We need to have these type of positions. We can't just continue to be the players. We have to be owners.
Right.
All right? Now, on the flip side of that, or whatever, I think that the NFL is double dealing. So what they are doing is, okay, so boom. I feel like their partnership with Roc Nation and Jay-Z they're trying to prop Jay-Z up, and they'll be like, well, look, we have the most influential, most successful freaking rapper that's here for social justice or whatever. We're not racist. We're not this. We're not that. Or whatever. Wait, hold on. Let me just get this out. We're not racist. We're not this. We're not that. But you still did not give Colin Kaepernick a job. He's still unemployed. And so you are doing this to appease the black community. And then you are unemploying that man and freaking exiling him to please rural America and Donald Trump's bitch ass. And that's what I do not appreciate. And I'm hoping that you are not using Jay-Z as a fucking ploy. And I think that's why a lot of people are upset about this.
I think when I first heard it and it broke news, I remembered Jay-Z with the Nets, and I got the whole vibe of. I remember when they was making this whole push for Brooklyn, and Jay-Z was the face, and he was part owner of the Nets, and they was making this whole huge big deal. And then I remember people getting their homes bought out and moved. And then a few years later, business moves on. Jay-Z moved on. He's not the face of the Nets. He's still a part of it. You'll see his faces when you walk in his office. And then he moves on to the next thing. That's great business. Now, here we are again now with the NFL. Is this a business move for the NFL to do exactly what you said? In some parts, yes, it is. It is to put a good light that, all right, we know about these social issues. Now, what do we do about it? In one regard, I get that. In another regard, it's a great play because now you get the face of hip-hop, yes, the face of big business in hip-hop, a mogul who's doing different sports deals also, who's kind of got his hands in every little thing. Great move. And it can be used either way. The one thing about it is Jay-Z is going to make a lot of money out of this because better believe most of those songs is going to be on the NFL games. You're going to hear a lot of Jay-Z. You're going to hear some bleak verses you've never heard before. You're going to hear a lot of Siegel. You're going to hear a lot of stuff that he has rights to. Plus all the other artists that's on title. So, I mean, it opens up a great lane. But on the same note, is it a take and give? Okay. We can start the hashtag give Kaepernick a job, like, get him a quarterback job, get him on the team. We could do that. And let's say he gets on the team. Do we feel better then? Yeah. And then life goes on. I mean, should that happen? Sure. Does Kaepernick want that? I don't know. I didn't look at that part of it or hear his statements yet, so I'm not going to speak on it.
Okay, so I will say this. I'm happy that you actually brought up the whole Brooklyn Nets thing and the Barclays Center because I don't know if you know, but Jay-Z is receiving a lot of backlash right now for this. He's receiving a lot of backlash. And one of the things that people were complaining about is just like, okay, how are you going to be in cahoots with these people and Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job? That's number one. But then they brought up the situation about the Brooklyn Nets thing and the gentrification of Brooklyn. Right. And let's be clear about this, okay? First of all, whether Jay-Z was a part of the Barclays or the Brooklyn Nets or whatever, they were going to gentrify Brooklyn regardless. And I'm going to tell you why. If you are from New York, then you know they have been actively trying to clean up New York since Giuliani was the mayor.
Absolutely.
When Giuliani was the mayor of New York City or whatever, right? He pretty much cleaned up Midtown Manhattan because if anybody knows about Midtown Manhattan, specifically Times Square...
It used to be the best place in the world.
Yo, you're fucking crazy. But no, if you know anything about that, then you know it was riddled with prostitution, pimps, drug use, crackheads, all type of shit. People did not want to freaking go down there. People did not want to be in Midtown Manhattan back in those days because it was fucking crazy. And so when Giuliani came in, Giuliani, aka Gargamel. Okay? When he came in and he came in and he cleaned it up. And the reason why he did that is because, first of all, one of the main problems that people have with New York is that the fact that it, especially back in those days, it was riddled with crime, and then also it was fucking dirty as fuck.
It really was, and the subways are still a testament to that.
Right. And if you know anything about New York represents big business. That's why they call us the Empire State. And then also, we have year-round tourism. Nobody is going to want to come to New York, especially big business and people and tourists that have money, if New York looks the way it was looking. So that's why they started cleaning that shit up. And in first they started with New York. First they started with Manhattan, and then they moved out to other freaking boroughs.
Right.
Brooklyn being the first of this, and I'm gonna tell you why. If anybody doesn't know, Brooklyn is actually more populated than any other fucking borough in New York City.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't also know that there is a lot of white people that live in fucking Brooklyn and that are from Brooklyn, that were raised in Brooklyn, and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So of course they were gonna go to Brooklyn. So that shit was going to get gentrified regardless of whether he was a part of that deal or not. We're talking about big business. Jay-Z cannot sit there and control all of these developers, all of these. He can't control that.
Absolutely.
So it was going to happen regardless. So you're trying to blame him for that.
You can't blame Jay for that.
You can't.
Nope. I mean, it was funny. We was looking at CNN. They put that that lyric up there. He was just talking about the NFL, and now he's working for the NFL. You gotta understand, like, change and progress happens. Again, I'm saluting him for it. This is never a knock to it because this is about business. And people gotta realize, business is not personal. There's no space for personal feelings in business. It doesn't go hand in hand. That's the worst way to make business happen. With this, he is trying to make a bigger step for us as a whole as a play. Of course, he's going to make money off of it. It's about him because he put himself there for us to get there. So we live and we learn from it. But don't take it as he's trying to just shit on Kaepernick or shit on people, or he's just there to be the slave to the white man. No, he's there to try to bring us together in another light. And through these slow processes, we're going to get there eventually. I mean, through the course of football, I'm wondering now, like, I got to hit my boy up and ask him, like, yeah, yo, you going to watch football now? Because, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it because Jay did this. It's just more or less like, but then again, it probably is because Jay did this, because now it's a thing of Jay's there. And that's another thing that I know that I just hit you on the nail with is this a play for everybody to start watching football again?
And but that's the thing though. Everybody didn't stop watching football. So you're mad at Jay-Z for wanting to wait, hold on, let me just get this out. You're mad at Jay-Z because you're saying that he's selling out or he's betraying Colin Kaepernick or whatever the case may be. If you really think about it, Colin Kaepernick took a settlement. That's number one. Because there was some acknowledgement that you guys have done wrong. And there's still acknowledgement that you have done wrong because this man is still unemployed. But the thing is, or whatever, if you're going to get mad at Jay-Z for being a part owner or being in a partnership, you need to get mad at the people that were still freaking watching the NFL while this was going on.
Right.
You also should be mad at Nike, because guess what? Colin Kaepernick took an endorsement with Nike, right? And Nike was also double dealing because guess what? Even though they had offered him money for that endorsement, they are the ones that provide all of the uniforms for all of the fucking players in the fucking league.
It's the same
so what
way,
are we talking about here?
It's the same way that the Rockefellers, watch I play this into the position. The same way the Rockefellers made their money back in the day with the wars. With war and no way of communication with telephones, they will have wars and broadcast, well not broadcast, they'll send a horse forward saying this side of the war won, knowing that the other side of the war won. By the time it got back to everybody, people would put their money in stocks and banks and certain things, and then by the time it got to them, it's like, no, they didn't win. These people win. And then he realized that the money they put everything into was Rockefeller stuff. So now he had all the money. Now he had control. So, going to play back on the Rockefeller story, now you got Jay-Z, Rockefeller. He's doing the same thing. He's playing both sides, like Nike's playing both sides with Kaepernick.
I don't necessarily think that Jay-Z, I mean, I guess you can say that, but I don't think he's necessarily playing both sides. I think, again, we need to be a part of these type of movements. We need to be taking ownership. We cannot continue to let white people control the destiny of black people.
I agree.
We have to stop this.
Let me expand on it, though. What I mean by that is why he's playing both sides is he knows people is going to look at him a certain way for doing it. He knows people are not going to respect it. But you're going to have to do that no matter what. You're going to have to get the business. You're going to got to get people to do what you need them to do. So I just think it's one of them things where he knows that, all right, y'all may look at me a certain way, But like you said, Cap got his money. If he want to come back, he can.
No,
Somebody
we
picks
don't
him
know
up.
that. We don't know
But
that.
see, the thing, it goes back to it's like Carmelo, how he's locked out the NBA. So it's like no, we know he can still play, but nobody want him. But with Cap, it's the same thing. We know he can still play, but nobody want him. This is a little bit more political, but Melo was saying, well, they both kind of political in different aspects. But again, it's the same shit.
And if you think about it as well, Jay-Z has been talking about acquiring wealth, generational wealth.
Yep.
In order for you to acquire generational wealth, you have to have your hands in multiple pots. Right. That is the only way that this is going to happen.
Right. 6 forms of revenue.
And let's also be clear, Jay-Z is not the first person that said that he wanted to be an owner in an NFL team. There's other rappers that have said this in the past. You understand? They probably haven't done it yet. And then you don't even understand. Maybe Jay-Z partnering up with the NFL, this will probably encourage other artists that have money, other artists that are into big business to want to freaking invest in the NFL or other aspects of the league. Again, we need to be a part of these conversations. You know what this kind of reminds me of? I'm going to keep it real with you.
What?
This reminds me of Kamala Harris, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, okay. Explain.
So, a lot of people are skeptical of Kamala Harris because of her prosecutorial record, which is fine, and you should be scrutinizing it because this woman is trying to run for presidency, right? Okay. Now, with that being said, though, right, what we need black prosecutors. We need black judges. We need people in these type of positions. And the reason why we need them in these type of positions is because, as history has shown us, it was predominantly white-led, and this is the reason why black people have been incarcerated at such an accelerated rate that they have been.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? We need to be in these positions. Black people need to be freaking police officers. We need to be in the jury box. Yep. We need to be prosecutors. Yep. We need to be judges. Yep. We need to be lawmakers. We need to be NFL owners. We need to be baseball owners. We need to be all of that shit in order for this to make some type of change.
Speaking about that, I think you jinxed me with the jury duty shit. Because now I got jury duty.
Damn, my bad, yo.
Yeah, I think they do it by the area, but now I got it. But just to expand on what you were saying, like, we do need everybody in those areas. It starts from voting. Like, not for the president. Locally. Like, everything starts local. Get out and vote locally, and then it starts from there. The other thing that I wanted to bring up real quick, with regards to, it was in my thoughts for a second, with voting. Go ahead. It was something on my head. Damn it. I hate when that happens.
No, it's fine. So I'll just talk about the jury duty thing. So what he's speaking about is just like, recently I had got summons to do jury duty or whatever. Well, I got a subpoena or whatever. Long story. But anyway. Right. So a lot of people were telling me like, oh, just act like you're crazy and say that you're racist and so you don't have to serve. And my whole thing was just like, yeah, technically, do I want to serve in jury duty? Absolutely not. But it is important for me to do my civic duty because at the end of the day, if there's not a person like me in a room or more people of color in these type of rooms, this is the reason why our brothers, our sisters, and all of us be getting fucking locked the fuck up. So cut it out with that whole, let me act like I'm crazy shit. No, fucking start doing your civic duty and fucking help us out.
Or you get comments like that guy over in what state was that making a crazy comment about incest?
Oh.
Because see, this is what happens.
That was a hell of a
that's
segue.
that's what happens. Like, because of us not paying attention, you get sickos in the fucking office. It's like, if nobody did incest, nobody raped the incest, then nobody really be here. Like, I don't know about my culture. Maybe that man's culture. Maybe raped and privileged. You know what I mean. Then, fucked up a few villages here and there. And that's a problem. I mean, I don't think people in World War II rape people after war.
That's not true.
After Vietnam?
Listen.
I know, I'm just being devil's advocate. I know.
From what I understand is, typically, after any type of warfare, unfortunately, you do hear stories about that type of things happening.
Right.
Because even what's going on at the southern border, there's actually women and children coming out talking about how officers have sexually assaulted them.
Sad.
So yeah, and it's disgusting. And honestly, this I don't even know what the hell to even say about that. Like honestly, I just thought that comment was so fucking tone deaf, and I just thought it was disgusting. And you should be ashamed of yourself for even saying something like that. And at the end of the day, this is one of the reasons why I get mad, because first of all, you shouldn't even be commenting or even having any type of say when it comes up to a woman's body or whether she needs to have an abortion or not. And that's my stance on that. Mind your motherfucking business, nigga. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you don't want nobody making decisions about your balls, right? But you think it's okay to make decisions about our body, though.
I think America forgets that we all have freedom of speech. But when it comes to that speech, have some fucking respect in your speech, man. Put some respect on that shit. Like, think about what you say. Excuse me. Before you say some shit that you might regret. That's gonna come back and bite you in your ass like this. Like, I wish that when people do things like that in public nature, we can all have like a public board meeting and immediately vote that nigga out. But because we don't have enough of us there, bringing up what I wanted to talk about when I forgot about it. Black people meet the brown people. Puerto Ricans, whether you're light skin or dark skin. Dominicans, whether you're light skin or dark skin. If you are tan, if you're Indian, East Indian, West Indian, any type of dark or melanated skin, you are all one and the same. Here's the problem. We don't act that way. So if we all acted like we was the same, like Chinese people do, like Jewish people do, like most people when they come from their home country, we can accomplish so much more. Going back to the whole voting thing, to wrap that back up and to get that into things, like our vote would be more powerful if blacks and Puerto Ricans and Mexicans really started sticking together. Instead of separating ourselves by saying, no, I'm black, no, I'm Mexican, no, I'm Puerto Rican, no, I'm this, no, you're brown, we're black, we're brown. Yo, we have that 10, we have a hue.
No, okay, I agree with you on that, but I feel like black people, we need to focus on the black agenda, and that's going to trickle down any fucking way, because typically, like, you see that with everything anyway.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, so black people marched and fought for fucking, civil rights and all this type of shit, and most of the people that are the recipients of this is people of other brown people of other ethnicities. Absolutely. Let's keep it fucking real.
No, yeah.
You understand? But also you have to remember, one of the reasons why we are so separate is because this is what a lot of us was taught. You were taught this from the fucking white man. They freaking instilled this in you from fucking slavery. And it got passed down through generation through generation through generation. Yep. It's just like, why do you even think we even have colorism? Because of that same type of stupidity. Like,
that's why we need to
It's called the Willie Lynch theory.
For real. Well, yo, I hate to do it, but we gotta wrap it up. You know how this camera shit go. When you're on camera, it's 30.
Alright.
Yep. We out. Shout out to Instagram, though.
Yeah, Miss J411 on Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up.
Yo, it's rmg.studio on Instagram, rmgstudio.com for the website, and you can find me on Twitter at rmgstudio NYC, and that is all. We out.